First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Well, thank you for staying with us for our First Alert Weather Extra, joined by Tania and Lauren.
Happy Friday the 13th. The weather's certainly gloomy outside, Wes and Tania.
Yeah,
Yes.
certainly is tonight, and we're going to be dealing with some clouds sticking around, looks like through late tonight. There you go. Yeah, the gloomy weather certainly fits the Friday the 13th vibe, as you say, right? All right, Appalachian School. I always go Appalachian. I don't know. I'll figure it out, right? Straight Mountain, you can see we've got some very gloomy conditions there off in the distance. It's kind of misty and drizzly out there on this Friday night, so be careful. You can see obviously at higher elevations, the visibility is a little bit low, some of those low clouds around. But also tonight, it's still going to be kind of damp and misty in a couple of areas across East Alabama. So if you're heading out and about, another thing is going to be chilly. The temperatures are going to take a tumble down into the 60s there. So it's going to feel cooler later on. You might want to grab a light jacket. But the radar is picking up some of these sprinkles and very light precipitation. But actually the data is telling us that this is going to shift on out. And then later on tonight, we could see some more showers coming. Notice it is mostly cloudy right now across our area. But what's on the way? We've got a cold front. It is the next big thing, giving you that first alert for this front that's going to be dropping in from the northwest later tonight. And notice that once again, we might get a couple of isolated showers that could hold together and reach us, but this moves through during the early morning. By the time the sun pops up, we've got more clouds around in the morning, early morning clouds, but that's going to give way to some clearing, as you can see, once we get into late morning, just in time for the solar eclipse there for tomorrow. So we should be able to see that and also enjoy temperatures in the 70s during the afternoon, because once that passes, well, the temperatures are going to take a tumble into Sunday and the clouds come back, and the picture is becoming more clear for Sunday. We're thinking now we could actually see most areas where temperatures struggle to break out of the 50s. It's going to be a chilly day, winds out of the north, overcast, certainly one of the cooler days that we've had in quite some time. I mentioned this earlier. Looks like a prime time recipe for a bowl of chili there on Sunday.
And new tonight on Weather Extra, after telling you about the exciting mission earlier this week, the Psyche mission successfully launched at Kennedy Space Center this morning. As our friends at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory explained, this initiative is the beginning of a 6-year journey towards the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. They call it Psyche because the spacecraft is pointed at the Psyche asteroid, which is made up of mostly metal. Scientists believe the asteroid is the battered remains of an early planet's iron core, and it could help them better understand what makes up the Earth's core. And hey, as we gear up for the annular solar eclipse tomorrow, meteorologist Matt Daniel checked in with NASA to find out what we can expect.
All right, happening this weekend, the annular solar eclipse. Where will the moon move in front of the sun, blocking light and creating the ring of fire? While we won't see the full eclipse here in Alabama, it should be a fun experience. And this is something NASA is tracking. Jessica Kayas, is a heliophysics senior support project specialist, joins us this morning with more on this annular eclipse and what's ahead. So I'm looking forward to this. It's a rare event. Let us know, what is this and what can we expect going into tomorrow?
Yeah, so for tomorrow, you can expect to see a partial event down in Alabama, which is where it'll look like this moon is eating the sun, and it'll create a crescent moon or a notch out of the sun during the day.
And so we hear the term ring of fire. So what exactly is the ring of fire exactly?
Yeah, so the ring of fire is when the moon is far away from the earth and it covers the sun, but it doesn't cover the sun completely to create a total solar eclipse. And it'll create like a outline of the sun around the moon, and it'll create the ring of fire, which is a phenomenon to see.
Now, I know here in Alabama, we're not going to see the full effect here. So for us here locally, we're probably not going to see that ring of fire. Who's going to see that? And what times are we expecting this to happen, especially here in Alabama? If you don't know, just let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone who is in the path from Oregon down to New Mexico, down to Texas, will be able to see the total ring of fire because they're in the path of totality. For Alabama, you'll get a partial eclipse. I do not know exactly the time, but I do know that you'll be able to see a partial and it'll look like a crescent moon.
Awesome. Yeah, I actually have the times down. It's going to start around 10:38 local time in the morning. It's going to peak around 12:08. I figured you didn't know the specifics, so I didn't want to put you on the spot. But we want to view this, but we want to do this safely, of course. We don't want to directly look into the sun. What's a great way to stay safe when it comes to viewing this eclipse?
Yeah, so definitely want to emphasize to never look at the sun directly at any time of the day, especially during an eclipse. So what you can do is you can use solar viewing glasses, or you can use a pinhole projector or a colander that is in your kitchen.
Fantastic. And then once again, this is called an annular solar eclipse. Now, several years ago, we had a total eclipse. I actually saw the total eclipse. It was life-changing. The sky just went dark. We're not going to see that with the annular. Can you give us a difference between annular versus a total?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you said, in 2016, we all got to see the phenomenon where it went completely dark for like 2 minutes. For this annular eclipse, so we're not going to get that complete darkness, right? So in Alabama, you will see where over the time of 10:48 to 12, you'll see where the moon slowly starts to move in front of the sun, creating like it's slowly eating away at it chip by chip.
And yeah, for us, if you're not actually viewing the eclipse and you're just outside, are you going to notice a difference outside with this eclipse, especially here in Alabama where it's about 50 to 60%?
You won't notice a big difference,
Okay.
but you will see that it's not as bright as what it normally should be at that time, and a little bit of a, I would say like it's a cloudy day kind of. So it won't be as bright as a normal sunny day.
Gotcha. And then one last question for you. Let's talk about that total eclipse. It's going to be happening next year in April. How's that going to go? What's it going to be like, and where are we going to see that total eclipse?
Yeah, so that one will be from Texas all the way up to Maine, the path of totality. And that total eclipse, which is where you'll get the 2 minutes of darkness, and you'll be able to see that. So it starts off a heliophysics big year. When you can view this on go.nasa.gov/eclipse to get all the information that you ever need. And you can view it from your home safely, even if you don't want to go outside.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for this information. I know we're all going to pay close attention to it. I know NASA's probably streaming this eclipse live tomorrow, so I'm going to be tuning in. If you can't actually view it yourself safely, that's a great option as well. Thank you so much, Jessica, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt and Jessica. Well, coming up on Weather Extra, we talk about the best time to start planning to view the total solar eclipse this upcoming April.
Welcome back to Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. We are gearing up for an exciting weekend, and here to tell us about the open house at the National Weather Service right here in Birmingham is meteorologist J.P. Dice.
We're at the National Weather Service office in Shelby County, and meteorologist Gerald Satterwhite, familiar face, joining me right now. Gerald, coming up tomorrow, Saturday, big open house here at the Weather Service office, which is located at the Shelby County Airport. How many years have you guys been doing this?
Well, the last open house we had was about 5 years ago, and I believe the one previous to that was 5 years. So we're kind of on a 5-year cycle right now. But it'll be a great event Saturday, tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. right here at the Shelby County Airport, like you mentioned. So open to the public and free.
What can folks expect to see when they come here?
We're going to have a lot of stuff for kids and adults. For the kids, we're going to have trick-or-treating, a lot of giveaways for them, a kids' activity table. We're going to have a weather balloon launch at noon, which parents can actually enter their kid for a chance to help launch the weather balloon, so that's going to be fun. And for the adults, we're going to have a tour of our operations area. You can see where we forecast the weather and issue those weather alerts that you guys help us communicate on the television side. And just kind of a lot of instrumentation, first responders. It's just something for everything, or everybody rather.
And I think a lot of times when you think of meteorologists, at first glance you think about the person that's on TV that's presenting the weather, but there's a lot more to meteorology when there's warnings issued. Those warnings and a lot of the forecast information that we use even in aviation comes right here from this office here in Shelby County.
Absolutely. We covered 39 counties in central Alabama, so we're issuing a 7-day forecast. We do forecasts for the airports, let emergency managers and first responders, public safety officials know what kind of hazardous weather may be on the horizon so they can prepare and respond if that weather does affect various communities. And another side of meteorology we're going to have tomorrow is the research side. So University of Alabama Huntsville is going to have one of their mobile radars and mobile weather stations down here as well.
So come on out. It is going to be pretty decent weather. I think we're going to be looking at some sunshine coming up for tomorrow. And National Weather Service Office, Shelby County, from 10 until 3 p.m. I'm meteorologist J.P. Dice, along with meteorologist Gerald Satterwhite.
And tomorrow we will, of course, be there with the First Alert Storm Tracker. And if you need some eclipse glasses, we will have some of these to pass out. I want to thank Kratos for donating some of these solar filter glasses. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan will also be on site.
Yeah, Wes, and hopefully we will still have some candy. We bought some candy earlier this week. It's been sitting in the weather office and we've been trying our best not to eat it. So we still intend to come out with some glasses and candy. Well, obviously, you know, we love getting out in the community and seeing you all in person, especially the kiddos. And that's what I did today. I went over to Munford Elementary School for their STEM Career Day. I got to speak to this lovely group of second graders, some of the sweetest kids I've ever talked to. And what was so cool about Munford Elementary School, look at that. No, I didn't go into a cave. That is their lobby. It is such a cool school. You can see it's forest themed because it's nestled in the Talladega National Forest at the foot of Cheaha Mountain, Alabama's highest point. And the whole initiative with this school is discovering through nature the enchantment of learning. So it was just such a wonderful opportunity to get to speak to those kids today. I would love to come out and speak with them again. And the best part, each one of those kids, every single one of them, after I talked with them about being a meteorologist, came up and gave me a hug. So great little therapy session with the second graders in Munford. Thank you so much to their teacher, Emily Clifton, for having me out. Can't wait to come back again. But remember, if you want me or someone else from the First Alert Weather Team to come and speak at your school or event, be sure to visit WBRC.com and fill out the form under Weather in the Classroom. But for now, in 30 seconds, meteorologist Matt Daniel, or actually Wes, joins us with a special interview.
Well, welcome back to the only 30-minute show all about weather in the state of Alabama. First Alert Weather Extra. I'm Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. Today we welcome back Jim Tucker from the Birmingham Astronomical Society. Here's some of his tips for how you can catch the next big solar eclipse that is coming this April. I know we have another eclipse coming in 2024. If you want to travel to go see this, I mean, anything, I know it's not, we're not packing up for a tailgate, but any inside information on some things, some items you may want to think about, and some tips for going to view where the eclipse may be happening.
The next one is, as you said, it's April 8th, 2024. It comes up through Mexico, comes through Waco, Dallas, catches the edge of Texarkana, goes through Arkansas, Illinois, on up just under the Great Lakes and out through Canada. And so obviously traveling to the path of totality is a very special thing. It's wonderful if it's clear and you get a good view of it, but it's pretty special even if it's cloudy. It's amazing for it to get dark in the middle of the day, for all the birds to land, for the crickets to start chirping, to see a sunset 360 degrees around the sky. The thing is, they say this is going to be the most advertised eclipse in history. And if you look at how many people live along its path, some advice that, who knows, but perhaps good advice is plan ahead. Travel early if you're traveling. Take all the food and water with you need. It could be challenging if 30 million people show up in the path of totality. But at the same time, it's a special experience and worth some effort.
Well, for folks in the Birmingham area that may want to get involved with the Birmingham Astronomical Society, have telescopes, and just want to learn more, how can they get involved?
First of all, we have a website. We have a Facebook page, Birmingham Astronomical Society. Is how to find it. Make sure you do Birmingham Astronomical Society, Alabama. I think there's also a Birmingham Astronomical Society, and you might guess by the pronunciation that's in the UK. But we're Birmingham, not Birmingham. And so make sure you get the right webpage. And if you do, we announce our star parties, and we have monthly star parties at Oak Mountain that are free. If you pay to come in Oak Mountain, you can come to our star party. And then we have monthly meetings at the Sanford Planetarium, the Christenberry Planetarium, that they're kind enough to host. That's where you spoke to us.
Right.
And so I would advise you to go get on the web, find our website, find our Facebook page, and come join us.
Well, we are certainly looking forward to some of the pictures, hopefully, that you'll be able to send back to us. And I know it is certainly going to be an incredible experience. And we wish you safe travels, Jim, and enjoy the eclipse. And we'd certainly love to have you back on again sometime.
Fantastic. Hopefully, I'll have some pictures, too. So we'll be in touch. Thanks, Wes.
Thank you. And a good point there from Jim. Birmingham, right? You got to get that. You got to get that right. All right, we got a cold front on the way, and it's on its way to Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Hamilton, and all across the area. Here it comes. The front should arrive after midnight, but the really cold air with this won't quite catch up until Sunday. So we actually squeeze out a decent Saturday tomorrow. Look at what happens here. You can see a few isolated showers to the east, but the front moves in late with a few spotty showers. We kept a small 10% chance of rain in there through the early morning. This is 5 a.m. You can see still cloudy, but by 11 a.m., well, the clouds start to break and we start to warm up. It looks like those temperatures will reach into the low 70s for the afternoon, so not a bad Saturday with the Oak Grove Fall Festival, Kentuck, all that's happening tomorrow. The weather should cooperate nicely, and you can see wind out of the west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's more of a west wind, but then the northwest wind starts to kick in tomorrow night as we get into the evening hours, and that's when the temperatures start to tumble, and we see those readings dropping down into the 50s. And then once we get into the day on Sunday, it looks like some low clouds become established with winds out of the north-northwest, adding to the chill. Chilly day. This is showing 3 o'clock, 54 in Birmingham. Some of that data coming in a little bit cooler, and then it's down into the 40s for Sunday night. So it is going to be a chilly end to our weekend. Plan for that. One of the next big things as we move ahead into our weekend. So the cool surge we're tracking. We've got college football again in the morning in Tuscaloosa for the homecoming parade. Cloudy, but we should break into sunshine for the kickoff of the game. Kickoff temperature around 72. And then as we look at the forecast for Auburn fans there, you can see it's going to be sunny for that game down at Baton Rouge. And hopefully UAB fans, they got the memo. Better send me some eclipse photos because the San Antonio area is going to be a prime time location there for the annular solar eclipse tomorrow. I know that for the fans that did travel over, that is going to be something very cool to catch tomorrow. But you can see 7 o'clock temperatures in the mid-70s. So here it is, 7-day forecast. We got just isolated showers Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Lots of sunshine into next week. Highs in the 60s down to around 43 degrees on Monday night and into early on Tuesday. But one thing you get right here on Weather Extra, and only on Weather Extra, we go beyond the 7-day forecast. And let's head over now to check out what's going on. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Lauren, noticing late next week the possibility that we could see a few showers.
Yeah, Wes, and I know we certainly need the rainfall in October. October typically always our driest month. But what we've also been noticing, in addition to the possibility of some rain late next week, is maybe, just maybe, we could be getting in on some cooler weather once we get past that next rain chance as well. So as we look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, if we zoom in here to the southeast, it is featuring kind of the one spot in the country 6 to 10 days from now that we could be seeing below average temperatures. Now, what does that mean? It's going to be ridiculously cold? Not necessarily, but look at these forecast highs. And remember, anytime we show you this data beyond the 7-day, it's just a little preview. There is a very good possibility it can and will change because weather data 7 to 10 days out, kind of iffy, but we're just giving you that little slice of what could happen, right? So here we are next weekend, possibly highs in the upper 60s, low 70s. So we could see a little warm up towards the end of next week. And then as we look into the following week, you can see a cool down behind that possibility of some rain next week before maybe another little bit of a warm up. But our average high should be in the mid upper 70s. So you'll notice even once we get farther into October, this is looking at October 19th through 28th. Still could be a little bit below average, and maybe by next weekend the temperature's a little bit milder with more cloud cover around, but it looks like we could see another cool down the week after that as we're wrapping up October. So as far as those rain chances across the southeast, above average precipitation possible. We love to see that 6 to 10 days from now as we're getting into the latter half of October. So here's a possibility. This is our American model spitting out that there could be an upper level disturbance developing towards the end of next week, and that's what both of our long-range weather models are picking up on. If we do get this upper level disturbance to develop in the atmosphere, that could help bring some rain on Friday, if not Saturday of next week. So we want to go ahead and give you a first alert for the possibility of some rain in the forecast next weekend. Now look at that and I'm like, napping weather, we're all good. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So we'll always give you the latest here on Beyond the 7-Day.
Lauren, I'm not looking forward to it because this gloomy, muggy weather is not doing very well for my hairdo. But anyways, on this week's installment of Mets Around the World, we travel back to Italy, where meteorologist Rob Jones talks about his favorite part about being a meteorologist and why it's important.
One of the things that I love and that I love a lot, about weather is learning about what's happened in the past, learning about history and especially hurricane history. And when you know that, it also helps you become a better forecaster. That's the thing is, if you know how these storms have developed and worked in the past, then it will help you develop your skills in forecasting storms today and tomorrow. You say, hey, I've seen this before. I remember what happened with that hurricane, how it affected this area when it made landfall 50 years ago, 100 years ago.
Rob says he loves research and will continue to expand his weather knowledge over in Italy. Well, coming back on Weather Extra, we say our final goodbye.
So tonight, first at 9, we'll be tracking a cold front, some cooler temperatures for the weekend.
Absolutely. And Wes, Lauren, when I said final goodbye, I meant have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
We're still going to have
We
this
know what
show.
you mean.
We know, but y'all.